He thought the hardest part was getting approved to visit America. Months of preparation, endless paperwork, stressful waiting. Everything finally seemed worth it. His ESTA was approved, flight booked, hotel confirmed, travel insurance purchased. And honestly, he believed nothing could stop him now. But then something shocking happened. One airport decision destroyed his entire trip. The traveler's name was Salman, 30 years old, first time visiting the United States, and honestly, this trip meant everything to him. He dreamed about America for years: New York streets, Los Angeles beaches, luxury shopping, Hollywood attractions. Everything felt exciting. His family celebrated before departure, friends congratulated him. Everyone told him, "Enjoy America." But nobody warned him about deportation fear. Nobody warned him about airport denial. Nobody warned him how quickly one immigration officer could change everything. The flight to America felt emotional. Salman looked outside the airplane window while landing. Bright city lights, massive highways. Everything looked unreal. And honestly, he felt proud of himself. Very proud. After years of struggle, he finally reached America. Or at least, that's what he thought. The plane landed successfully. Passengers started leaving slowly. Airport announcements echoed everywhere. Long immigration lines filled the terminal. Serious officers stood behind counters silently. And honestly, the atmosphere already felt intimidating. Salman joined the immigration line quietly, passport in hand, documents prepared carefully. Everything still felt normal, at least for a moment. Then the immigration officer called him forward. The officer looked serious immediately. No smile, no greeting, only questions. "Purpose of your visit?" Salman answered carefully. "Tourism." "How long are you staying?" 2 weeks. "Where will you stay?" Salman showed hotel reservations immediately. Everything still looked routine, but then something unexpected happened. The officer stopped typing suddenly and looked directly into Salman's eyes. That moment felt strange immediately. Then came another question. "How much money are you carrying?" Salman answered honestly. The officer continued typing slowly. Then another question appeared. "Who paid for this trip?" And suddenly, Salman started feeling nervous. Most travelers never realize how stressful airport questioning becomes emotionally. Even innocent tourists feel pressure quickly, especially inside American airports. The officer kept asking questions rapidly. "What work do you do? How much salary do you earn? Do you know anyone in America? Have you visited before?" Everything suddenly felt intense. Salman tried staying calm, but honestly, his voice slowly started shaking, and the officer noticed immediately. That moment changed everything. The officer stopped typing, looked at another officer nearby, then said 4 terrifying words. "Please step to the side." Salman's heart instantly dropped. Airport noise suddenly felt distant, his breathing changed, and honestly, real fear entered his mind for the first time. Other passengers quietly walked past him. Nobody stopped. Nobody looked back. But Salman stood there frozen, confused, embarrassed, terrified. Then another officer approached him. "Follow me." That short sentence felt terrifying, especially inside a foreign country, especially in America. Most tourists never imagine this moment. They imagine tourist attractions, vacation photos, excitement, not detention rooms, not immigration fear, not deportation risks. But airport problems happen more often than people realize, especially in the United States. Salman entered a secondary inspection room. Cold atmosphere, bright white lights, serious officers everywhere. Other travelers looked exhausted too. Some looked angry, others looked terrified. And honestly, that room felt emotionally heavy. Nobody smiled there. Nobody looked comfortable. Everyone looked nervous. Salman slowly sat down. An officer collected his passport immediately. Then came another terrifying instruction. "Unlock your phone." His hands started shaking instantly. Most travelers never realize this before visiting America. Airport officers can inspect phones during border screening. That reality shocks many tourists, especially first-time travelers. Salman unlocked his phone slowly. The officer started checking messages, photos, travel plans, contacts, social media accounts. Everything suddenly felt deeply personal. And honestly, Salman felt emotionally exposed. Minutes slowly passed. Nobody explained anything clearly. Nobody told him what was happening. And honestly, that uncertainty became mentally exhausting. Then something shocking happened. An officer returned holding printed papers. At that moment, Salman thought his trip was over. The officer asked another unexpected question. "Why are your hotel reservations changing repeatedly?" Salman froze completely. Because honestly, he changed bookings earlier to save money. Simple tourist behavior, normal planning. But suddenly, everything looked suspicious, especially to immigration officers trained to detect illegal intentions. Most travelers never understand this reality. Small travel details can create major airport problems, especially in America. Officers analyze patterns constantly: travel behavior, financial consistency, booking history, return intentions. Everything matters. Salman slowly realized another painful truth. Entering America is not guaranteed just because travel approval exists. The immigration officer makes the final decision at the airport. And honestly, that reality terrifies many travelers. The questioning continued again. Why is your travel budget limited? Why are your bookings inconsistent? Why did you purchase one-way domestic flights? Every question increased pressure. Every answer felt dangerous. Salman tried staying calm, but fear slowly controlled him emotionally. And honestly, fear changes people quickly. Even innocent tourists start sounding nervous, and nervous behavior creates more suspicion. That cycle becomes dangerous very fast. Another traveler sitting nearby suddenly started crying. An older tourist argued loudly with officers. Someone else looked completely defeated emotionally. That room felt terrifying. And honestly, Salman realized airport detention fear is very real, especially in America. Hours slowly passed. No clear answers, no certainty, no phone access, no passport. And honestly, that feeling destroys confidence very quickly. Salman imagined the worst constantly. Would they deport him? Would they cancel future travel access? Would he lose all his money? Would his family panic? Questions filled his mind endlessly. Then came another shocking moment. An officer explained the situation clearly. The immigration team suspected Salman might attempt illegal work during his stay. That accusation shocked him deeply. Because honestly, he never planned anything illegal. He only wanted tourism, photos, vacation memories, simple travel experiences. But suddenly, everything felt uncertain. Most tourists never realize how serious immigration suspicion becomes during airport screening, especially in the United States. Officers prioritize security aggressively, and small inconsistencies create problems quickly. Salman's travel insurance became another issue too. The officer reviewed medical coverage carefully, emergency support, policy details, coverage limits. And honestly, his cheap insurance looked weak. That created another concern. Many travelers never realize weak insurance creates additional suspicion, because tourists without proper medical coverage become financial risks during emergencies, especially in America, where hospital bills become terrifyingly expensive. The officer asked, "What happens if you need emergency treatment here?" That question terrified Salman deeply, because honestly, he never researched American hospital costs properly. Most travelers don't. They assume nothing bad will happen, but America creates serious financial risks during emergencies. Ambulance rides alone can cost thousands of dollars. Emergency rooms become expensive immediately. Hospital stays become financially devastating without strong insurance coverage. And suddenly, Salman realized his preparation had serious weaknesses. The questioning continued calmly, but emotionally, the pressure felt enormous. Salman barely understood time anymore. Hours passed slowly. Nobody guaranteed anything. Nobody explained outcomes clearly, and honestly, that uncertainty became mentally painful, especially inside a foreign country, especially alone. Most travelers never prepare emotionally for airport pressure, but honestly, American immigration screening feels extremely intense, especially for first-time visitors. Officers look for inconsistencies constantly. And nervous travelers sometimes create more suspicion accidentally. Salman later admitted something painful. He said, "I thought approval meant entry was guaranteed. But airport immigration works differently. Approval only allows travel. Entry still depends on officer decisions at the airport." That misunderstanding shocks many tourists. Eventually, another officer entered the room carrying documents. Salman immediately looked terrified. Because honestly, he expected deportation at that moment. The officer stared silently for several seconds, then finally spoke. "You are being denied entry." That sentence felt emotionally devastating. Completely devastating. Salman froze instantly. His mind stopped processing everything. He believed there had been a mistake. But there was no mistake. The officer continued speaking calmly. "You will be returned on the next available flight." Those words destroyed him emotionally. Everything disappeared instantly. The dream vacation, the excitement, the money, the plans, everything collapsed in seconds. Most tourists never imagine this moment. They imagine airport arrivals, tourist attractions, excitement, freedom, not deportation orders, not immigration denial, not emotional humiliation. But unfortunately, these situations happen more often than travelers realize, especially in America. Salman tried explaining again. He showed hotel bookings repeatedly, travel plans, return tickets, insurance documents, everything. But honestly, the decision already felt final, and that feeling became emotionally crushing. Another officer escorted him toward another waiting area. His passport remained with immigration officers. His phone access stayed limited. And honestly, Salman felt emotionally broken. Other travelers looked at him quietly while passing nearby. That embarrassment felt unbearable, especially inside a foreign airport, especially alone. Hours later, immigration officers officially canceled his entry process. Salman eventually learned something painful. Airport deportation creates additional future travel complications too. Future questioning risks increase. Travel history changes permanently. And honestly, that reality terrified him even more. Most travelers never understand how serious deportation consequences become emotionally and legally, especially for future international travel. Salman slowly started regretting multiple decisions: weak preparation, limited financial proof, changing hotel bookings repeatedly, weak insurance. Everything suddenly mattered. Every small detail became important, and honestly, that realization came too late. The return flight felt emotionally devastating. Same airplane experience, same airport environment, completely different emotions. No excitement remained, only humiliation, fear, and emotional exhaustion. Salman avoided eye contact with everyone. He barely spoke during the flight, and honestly, he felt completely defeated emotionally. Most travelers only post successful trips online, luxury hotels, restaurants, vacation photos. Nobody posts deportation fear. Nobody posts immigration humiliation. Nobody posts airport denial stories. Because honestly, those moments feel deeply personal and emotionally painful. But these situations happen more often than people realize, especially during American airport screening. After returning home, Salman spent weeks emotionally recovering. Friends asked questions constantly. Family looked worried. And honestly, explaining deportation felt humiliating every time. That experience changed him permanently. Now, every future travel plan feels different emotionally. More careful preparation, stronger documentation, better financial proof, smarter insurance. Because fear taught him lessons excitement never could. Most travelers underestimate immigration preparation. They focus only on flights and hotels. But smart international travel requires much more. Consistent bookings, strong financial proof, professional behavior, clear travel intentions, proper insurance, and emotionally calm communication, especially in America, where airport screening becomes extremely serious. Salman later researched many similar stories online. Tourists deported, phones searched, visas canceled, entry denied. And honestly, he realized his situation could have become even worse. That realization shocked him deeply. Because small mistakes create massive consequences during border screening, especially inside the United States. Travel insurance became another important lesson too. Most tourists buy the cheapest policy available. That becomes dangerous, especially in America, where emergency treatment becomes financially devastating quickly. Ambulance costs, emergency rooms, medical testing, hospital stays. Everything becomes extremely expensive without strong insurance coverage. Salman later upgraded his insurance completely for future travel, because honestly, fear changed his priorities permanently. Now protection mattered more than saving money. And honestly, many travelers only learn this lesson through panic, through airport pressure, through emotional fear, through near deportation experiences. But smart preparation prevents many of those nightmares before they happen. Travel should create memories, not deportation fear, not immigration panic, not emotional trauma. That's why awareness matters, preparation matters, and smart travel decisions matter more than people realize, especially in America. Before traveling to the United States, always ask yourself one important question. If immigration officers question every detail of my trip, am I fully prepared? Because that answer can completely change your future at the airport. Salman eventually understood another painful truth. Airport officers analyze behavior very carefully. Confidence matters, consistency matters, preparation matters, and nervous confusion sometimes creates major suspicion, especially during border screening. Many tourists still believe nothing bad will happen, but international travel always carries risks. Airport risks, immigration risks, financial risks, medical risks. That's why preparation matters more than excitement, especially in America. One immigration officer changed Salman's entire understanding of travel forever. And honestly, that experience could happen to many tourists. That's why awareness matters today more than ever. Subscribe to Global Policy Guide for travel safety, visa updates, insurance awareness, and real travel risk stories.